Okay, we are ready, gang. Yogalates, thanks so much for joining me. As always, please modify things as needed. Listen to your body as we go through these stretches and movements. Every day is different. We're going to start in a really wide but strong stance with the legs. So I want you to take the widest stance you can with your feet, but where you still feel really strong in the legs. Take a big breath in the nose. Make a finger gun overhead. Take a nice big breath in. Draw your abs in tight and squeeze your glutes. Let's keep the abs and glutes engaged. Big breath in the nose. And on your exhale, we're going to just start in a side bend. Reach through your finger gun. Does not matter what side you go to. We're going to do the other side right after this one. 3 breaths. Legs are straight. We're bending through the waist. We're getting that nice stretch all down our side. Getting that low back moving, getting those first adjustments out. 2 more breaths. Reaching a little further on those exhales, always. 1 more breath, reaching through your finger gun. Take a breath in, come back to the center. Make sure your abs are in tight, your glutes are in tight. Big breath in the nose. Opposite side, here we go, side bend. Starting nice and easy. And as always, we'll kind of build it up and down as we go. 2 more breaths. Keep the chest tall. As you bend at the waist, reach through your finger gun. Let's do 1 more breath before we take it down. Okay, come back to the center. Let the arms come down. Wide-legged, downward facing dog. Take your hands to the floor. If you need to soften your knees up, you can. Reach your arms out in front of you. Dive the head and chest down as deep as you can. And let's take 3 breaths. Make sure you're keeping 80 to 90% of your weight on your legs. You shouldn't be killing your arms right now. Here we go. Pushing the head, chest down. Reaching out through the arms. We're stretching the back hamstrings, lengthening the spine. 2 more breaths, reaching through the fingers, pushing the head, chest down a little bit deeper, keeping the weight on the legs. Big stretch all down the posterior. Let's take 1 more breath into it, just for good measure. And then we're going to fold to the knees. Walk the hands under the chest. Take the hands over to your shin, ankle, or foot. Doesn't matter which side. Fold to the left knee. Make sure your toes are pointing forward. Keep the toes forward. Let's take 3 breaths, folding to the left knee. In the nose, out the mouth or nose as you fold into that left knee or right knee, whichever side you started with. 2 more breaths. Really stretching those hamstrings out now. Nose to the knee. 1 more breath. Fold on that exhale. And let's take it right to the other side. Walk the hands over to your opposite shin, ankle, or foot as low as you can grab without bending the knees. Fold into the knee. Find your sticking point. Let's take 3 breaths past it. Here we go. Trying to get the nose to the knee without bending it. Hope you guys can hear me okay. My mic seems a little muffled today. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath, folding into your knee. Excellent. Come back to the center. Have the arms right under your chest. Flatten the back out. Very slowly. Keep the hands in place. We're going to start shifting through our lateral low lunge stretches. Keep the head up. Let's give the head a little break. We had a lot of blood rushing into the head there with it down so long. Keep your head up tall if you can. And you don't have to worry about following me exactly. I'm just taking a breath in as I shift up. Exhale as we shift down. I want you to try to keep your feet flat so that the ankles are getting as much movement as possible. We're adjusting the ankles and the knees. Stretching the adductor complex. Inner thighs. Plant those feet firm. Let the knees and ankles move as much as they can. Keep them going. I'm just doing like 3 to 5 second cycles here. Inhale when you come up. Exhale as you go down into the stretch. Hold it for a few seconds. Inhale back up. Exhale back down the stretch. Let's do 3 more on each side. Of course, we're always trying to get a little deeper as we go through any of our stretches like this. 2 more. 1 more lateral low lunge pose on each side. Last one. Excellent. Come back to the center. Unroll the spine up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Drag the arms up. And let's finish our standing section with some shoulder rolls and a barred arm twist. Shoulder shrugs or shoulder rolls. Lift at the ears. Pull your elbows back. Open the chest up as big as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. As exaggerated of shrugs as you can. Lift at the ears, pull the arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades, open the chest up, and then roll back forward. Keep them going, use your breath. Just shrugging all that tension out of the upper back and traps. Really getting the shoulder girdle warmed up. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. 1 more time, ladies. All right, great. Bar your left arm across your chest. Plant it right on the elbow or forearm. Big twist to your right. Keep your feet forward. We're twisting from the hips up. Here we go. 3 breaths. We're pushing on the elbow as we twist, stretching the shoulder blade. That left arm. 2 more breaths. Pushing a little bit further with each breath. 1 more time. Come back to the center. Bar your right arm or your opposite arm. I've learned over the years to just do one side right from the other. Left and right can get really confusing for some reason. Depends on which way you're facing. 3 breaths. Twisting through the hips. Pushing on the elbow. We're stretching the upper back out. Good. We're going to take it down to the mat after this. So 1 more breath in our barred arm twist, little thoracic stretch, shoulder blades. Make sure, that you can see me wherever you are. Step to the back edge of your mat. We're going to move down to the floor. I'm going to turn that music down just to hear. Go ahead and just kneel down to your mat, 1 knee at a time, and we'll start in child's pose. Flatten the feet out, sink your butt back, relax your head chest down as low as you can, stretch the arms out. Let's take 3 breaths in this first one. I want you to get as flat into your mat as you can. If you want to roll the hips, knees side to side a little bit as you reach out through your arms, you can kind of move that stretch around, or just sink into your child's pose and focus on your breath for a minute. Let's take 2 more. Stationary or moving side to side through the knees and hips as you stretch the arms out, reach through the fingers. Stay as flat as you can though. 1 more breath. Great. Come to table pose. We're going to thread the needle. So we're going to work on the spine for a little bit here. Left arm, palm up. Thread the needle through like we've done in the past. Push your chest down. Now make sure your legs feel really strong and stable. You can keep your right arm down in front of you. You're probably already starting to feel that stretch behind that left shoulder blade. Again, good. If you can join me, take that right arm up. And as you're pushing your body down over that left shoulder, you're reaching up and back behind you. But make sure you feel strong and steady in the legs. 3 breaths. Palm is forward. Turn your head. Look up your right arm if you can. Modify as needed. And reaching a little bit further behind you with each breath. Let's do 2 more. We're still pushing down on that left shoulder. Reaching out through those left fingers with the palm up. And then reaching behind you and up through those right fingers and hands. Let's take one more breath into it. We'll go right to the other side. Oh, great. Okay, bring the right arm down. Extend that left arm out in front of you just a little bit. Right arm threading through. Palm is up. Take your shoulder to your mat. Push your chest down. Make sure you feel strong in your legs if you're going to bring that left arm up. This is a really good stretch once you get it down. Really hits that mid and upper back. Hard place to get to without a cage or some kind of piece of stretching equipment. 3 breaths. Who needs equipment? Our body is a gym. 2 breaths. Keep reaching up and back. We're going to go to the ultimate spine stretch after this. The cat and cow. Last breath in our thread the needle twist. Reach back a little further. Come down to table pose. Arms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. I'm going to put that music up just a hair. I hope that you can hear me okay still over that, but I like to have that music going. It really helps with the energy. All right, let's go into our first cat. We always have cat and cows in here. Round the shoulders, draw the stomach in and up, tuck your chin, look at your belly button, arch the back as high to the sky as you can. And when we go to cow, do the exact opposite. Lift the head high as you arch the back down. Pull your shoulder blades back, but keep the arms straight. Think about sticking your butt out. Here we go, up to cat. Use your breath. We're always moving with our breath. Release the cow. Head high. Try to get higher and lower each time. Up to cat. We're going to do about 5 cycles, 5 opportunities. Squeeze your glutes in. Press into the mat. Release the cow. Lift the head high. Extend the back down. Pull the shoulder blades back. Lift the head high. 2 more. Here we go. Up to cat. Arms are staying straight. All the movements through the trunk and spine. Release the cow. Feel those back muscles stretching as you go up to cat. 1 more time. Here we go. Last cat. Round the shoulders. Pull the spine in and up. Release to cow. Perfect. Okay. Step your right foot back straight. We're going to heel press with an arm reach. Left arm reaching up as high to the sky as you can, and we're pressing that right heel back. So we're just getting a little stretch on that Achilles tendon, soleus calf complex, that back right leg. We're reaching, kind of opposing that stretch through the left fingers. 3 breaths. Reach that arm high as you can, up and out through the fingers. See if you can get it a little higher than your ear. Pressing that heel firmly. 1 more breath. Okay, good. Come to table pose. Let's give that right wrist a break. Step the left foot back. Extend the right arm straight as you can. Here we go. Heel press and reach through those right fingers, up and out, high as you can. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Make sure you are pressing that heel as firmly as you can, using that left arm for leverage or anchor point. 1 more breath, pressing back and reaching forward. Okay, great. Frog. Put the knees as wide as you can. Put your toes together. If you're off your mat, hopefully you got something comfortable. Don't make yourself uncomfortable if you can't put your knees too wide because you're on a hard floor. Pull them in and just go to child's pose. If you can take those knees out really, really wide, but make sure the toes are still touching. Bring your chest all the way down to your mat or as close as you can. Stretch your arms out in front of you. 3 breaths. Stretching the inner thighs, opening up the hips a little bit. As you fold down, make sure you're still trying to press your butt back as firmly onto your heels as you can. 2 more breaths. Keep getting flatter, pressing back a little deeper. It's a nice stretch. 1 more breath into it. Great. Bring the knees in. Sit yourself up tall. In our hero pose, we're going to start in forward low lunge. Let's bring the left leg forward first. Keep the arms down. Let's give those a rest. Chest up, shoulders back. Lean the hips forward like we often do. Stretch the hip flexors. I'm going to give you the option to keep that back knee down. Let's take 3 breaths in this first one. We're going to add in a little reverse triangle position with our forward low lunge, or if you want, you're going to join me for a full lunge. It's all about you. I have a song for my daughter. It's all about the me, 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 not the you, you, you. It's got a really good little guitar strum for it. 1 more breath. She loves it. Take the right hand down. Keep the back knee down or bring it up with me, but make sure you're pressing back through that leg. And on your breath, bring the left arm up for a nice big twist into our low lunge or full lunge. Palm is forward, arms in line. Reach behind you, up and back through those top fingers. If you can, turn your head, look up your left arm as it reaches to the sky. 2 more breaths, and as you're reaching behind you, do not let your front left knee bow or turn out. Keep it in front of the hip. This is where we're stretching. Back of the left glute, hip area into the low back. 1 more breath. Good. Take your left hand down to the outside of your left leg. Push back for a modified triangle fold. Hands on the floor, or if that's too much, keep the hands up on the leg and just trace them down. Lock your knee, flex your toes as you fold to your knee. 3 breaths, of course, our theme. 3 breaths. I know I say this all the time, but we're going to be on the knees for a while here. Please make yourself comfortable. Double your mat up. Order a thicker mat if you plan to continue to do this for a long time, which I highly encourage, either with me or with somebody or on your own. You got to do this stuff. 1 more breath. Folding to the left knee. We're going to take it to plank, and we're going to reverse all of that. Okay, push forward so your foot is flat. Take both hands under the chest. Bring your back right knee up. Step the left leg back for plank. We're going to hover to cobra, chaturanga, very slowly with control. Abs in tight, lower, nice and slow. Let the knees come down softly. Press the head, chest high, of course. Go to low cobra to modify. 3 breaths. Pull the shoulders back. Reach the head, chest up tall. Flex your hips into the floor gently. Abs in tight. We're squeezing the glutes. 2 more breaths. Sorry for all that heavy breathing. The microphone was migrated into my mouth somehow there in our plank. Last breath. Okay, push back, sit up tall, and hero pose. Same sequence. Right leg forward. Right leg. Make sure you have a pretty good angle at that knee, and it's right in front of the hip. Head, chest tall. Lean the hips forward. Lengthen those hip flexors, quads. 3 breaths before we add in our twist. Go, music's picking up a little bit. The flows are picking up a little bit. One more breath. Keep leaning those hips down and forward as you keep your head, chest up tall. Okay, take the left hand to the floor under your chest. Again, if you need to keep that back left knee down, here's the modified position. If you can, go to full lunge on your breath. Reaching up and back. Palm is forward. Keep this knee from bowing out. Keep it square in front of the hip as you twist. Here's where we're stretching. Outer back side of that right hip into the low back. One of my problem areas. Not anymore. Reach up and back. 2 breaths. Pretend like there's a wall behind you. We're getting flat against it. Take the back knee down anytime you need to. 1 more breath. Okay, take the right hand down to the outside of your right leg. Drop the back knee. Push back. I almost skipped one. Modified triangle fold, stretching the hamstrings out. Again, if you got real tight hamstrings, modify. Stay up here on the thigh and then slowly trace the hands down the leg, or take the hands to the floor, fold to the knee, adjust your position as needed. 3 breaths. Make this your flow. I'm just here guiding. I want everybody to be feeling really good at the end of this. Modify anything as needed. 2 more breaths. Folding a little deeper into that knee on the exhales. 1 more breath. Nose to your knee. Nothing past an 8 of discomfort when we stretch. Okay, push yourself forward so your knee is bent, foot is flat. Take both hands under the chest. Bring your back left knee off the floor. Draw the right leg back to full prone plank. Here we go, chaturanga, hover. Let the knees come down softly and slowly push high into cobra. That's a little piece of what they call vinyasa flow. Reach the head, chest up, pull the shoulders back, flex the hips, squeeze the glutes. 2 more breaths, abs tight. Get yourself as tall as you can. We're stretching the entire front of the trunk and the low back. Last breath. Child's pose, push back. Let's give the wrists a break, hips a break, back a break. Everything's recovering. Restore, reach the arms out, get as flat as you can. Take 3 breaths. Oh, I'm actually starting to sweat. I didn't think I would sweat today. It's a beautiful temperature here, wherever you all are. I know I got a couple of you locals here. 2 more breaths. Reaching those arms out nice and far, sinking back as deep as you can. 1 more breath. Great. Sit yourself up. Have a seat on your butt by swinging your legs out in front of you. Make sure you have room behind you because we're going to already lay flat. Unroll the spine down or go to your side. However, you can get yourself flat. Let's go ahead and kick it off with our good morning stretch. Good morning pose. Reach the arms behind you. Reach down through your toes. Get as long as you can. 3 breaths. Stretching the whole body out, opening everything up, decompressing. Reach, reach, reach. 2 more breaths. Okay, put your arms to your sides with your palms down. Make sure you have room out to either of your side. If you're at home, you're not going to kick any furniture. We're going to start with the right leg. Leg raised up. We're locking the knee, reaching through the toes. Come down just before you touch the floor. Abduct out. Reach out to your sides through the toes. Sweep it. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale out. Exhale in. Nice and slow. I want you to move with your breath, just as I showed you in that first one. The entire time, nice and slow. No gravity, no momentum. Reaching as high up to the sky as you can through the toes, keeping the legs straight. And reaching out to your side as far as you can through the toes, keeping the leg perfectly straight. Here we go. Let's do 3 more. We'll do 7 total, roughly. Lucky number 7. Good. 2 more of each. Don't worry about following with me exactly. You don't have to follow me to a T. 1 more of each. Keep it even. Reach up. Abs in tight. Reach out. And we go to figure 4. Good. So you should have been moving that right leg. Bend your left knee so your left foot's flat. Cross your right ankle just under your knee of that bent left leg. So we call this shape figure 4. I hope you can see that okay. Try to turn. No. Bring the left foot up. Reach through your legs with your right arm. Grab the back of your left knee. Reach to the outside of your left leg to grab behind that left knee. Now we're going to pull that left knee to the chest. So we were just moving that right hip a lot. Hip flexors and abductors we activated. Now we're stretching the back of that right hip. This is essentially pigeon on your back. 3 breaths. Keep pulling that knee to your chest. Make sure you're feeling that stretch. Outer right glute hip of that right leg crossed over the left. 2 more breaths. We're going to run a little over time today, so if you're not in a hurry, stick around for bonus content. Last breath. Okay, drop the left foot. Extend both legs down straight, 1 at a time. Left leg, arms to your sides, palm down, abs in tight. Here we go. Left leg up, reaching through the toes to the ceiling. Come down with control. Abduct, reach out to your side and sweep back in with control. Keep them going. Use your breath. Don't worry about the exact number. We're doing roughly 7, 5 to 10, somewhere in that range. We're just want to get your hips moving. Hips are one of the trickier joints in the body. There's so many dense ligaments in the hip. We want to move them, get them moving, get blood flowing. It's hard to get blood flowing into those ligaments. You got to really warm up the musculature around the hips before you can start getting movement in those deep ligaments. That's why we're doing this. Keep the leg really straight so that all the movement's through the hip. If you're getting any pain, catching in the hip, discomfort, just do smaller range of motion. We got 2 more. Here we go. As high up as you can, a little further each time. Squeeze the abs in, come down slow on your breath. Reach out through the toes. 1 more of each. Reach to the ceiling and abduct out far as you can. Good. Figure 4. Come back to your center. Bend your right knee, foot flat, cross the left ankle over your right thigh, just under the knee. You don't want to be too low. Reach through your legs with your left arm to grab the back of the right leg. Reach to the outside. And make sure you grab right below that knee and keep the knee bent at 90 degrees. That helps with this stretch. Pull, hit your sticking point. 3 breaths. Gently pulling a little firmer on each exhale. 2 more breaths. I'm getting lots of cracks and pops in my feet. 1 more breath. Let's bonus stretch. Wiggle the feet. Last breath in our figure 4, pigeon on the back. Okay, good. Let your right foot drop down flat. Let your left foot drop down flat. Make sure your feet are about hip width and double hip twist. We're going to start cooling down. Getting into that final cool down process very shortly here. The first step right here, double hip twist. Let your knees just kind of oscillate side to side. It's okay as your feet are going to lift, but keep them in place. Your feet should be in the same spot as you go through these. We're trying to get that outer knee to just touch the floor, and then you're pushing that top knee, following it down as close as you can without letting your foot move. And that is where you get that nice stretch. A little more gentle than some of the other posterior hip stretches we do. We're just cooling down. We're keeping the low back moving. Let's do 2 more. Use your breath. One more each side, using your breath. When you come back to the center, let's go right into a cradle. Take the knees into the chest one at a time. Hug them down as firmly as you can so your tailbone lifts. If you want to do a little massage side to side on the back and spine, you can join me for that, or you can just take a few deep belly breaths. We're going to go into our final Shavasana cool down after this little corpse pose. And we'll finish in a forward spine stretch. One more breath in your cradle. Hug those knees as firmly as you can. Rocking is optional. Okay, extend your legs down straight, one at a time. I need to scoot back. I always wiggle myself off my mat. All right, relax the arms to your sides with your palms up. Make sure your toes are pointing out and your heels are facing in. Close your eyes. I want you to take 5 of the longest, deepest belly breaths you can, all the way in the nose, all the way out the mouth or nose, your choice. Here we go. 4 more, longer and deeper as you go through them. Let your body get heavy as we get lots of oxygen back in the body. 3 more. Good. 2 more. Big, deep belly breaths. Get lots of oxygen in. Everything is good and stretched now. Blood is flowing much better than before we started. We're getting lots of oxygen in that blood. 1 more breath. After that big exhale, bring your arms behind you. Bring the feet a little bit off the floor. Stretch it back through the arms. Stretch down through the feet with them off the floor if you can, or keep them on the ground. Abs tight. Okay, let the feet come down. Sit yourself up. If you can roll up or sit up, do so. Have the legs straight out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in. Bring the arms overhead as tall as you can. Reach to the ceiling. 3 breaths in the nose, out the mouth or nose, reaching higher. Lock the knees straight, flex the toes towards you. 1 more breath in. Here we go. On your exhale, forward spine stretch. Reach through the arms, fold to the knees without bending them. 3 breaths. This is where we're going to finish, guys. In the nose, out the mouth or nose, reaching through those arms, folding to the knees a little deeper. Nothing past an 8 of discomfort. 2 more breaths. Try to keep your toes flexed and in line with your knees. Don't let them point out. That means you are tight out on that lateral side of your legs. Here we go. Last breath. Peel the spine back, 1 vertebrae at a time. Sit yourself up. And that is where we're going to end our Yogalates flow today, everybody. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Let me pause our recording. If that was one you particularly liked, you can come back and do it again. As always, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Anita, Vicky, thank you, Sebastian.